We are here to discuss about that final stage from the three steps that you need to go through in order to get your real estate license. Well, is it final? Not really. It's one of the three steps. So, in case you haven't checked out the other live sessions that we have done in the past, we've already gone through the three steps that you need to go through in order for you to get your license. Step one is to complete the 60-hour course. Three is to pass the real estate exam. I'm sorry, two is to pass the real estate exam. And then number three is to select which company you're going to work for in order for you to actually get that real estate exam. And then we went into what are the details of that 60-hour class. Can you take it self-paced at your own schedule, self-study, or do you want to take it with an instructor? Right now, we have a couple of classes starting in the new year. So as you are planning and mapping out your goals in 2025, if you are looking towards starting your real estate career, definitely sign up for the classes. Go to our website, trainingwithbrenda.com. We have a schedule that offers you the two ways. Do you want to take it self-paced? You can start that right away. Or do you want it with an instructor? The schedule is provided there. Do you want to go physically to a location, or do you want to take it virtually? Once again, that's trainingwithbrenda.com. Why are we here today? The focus is on that exam. So I'm going to let you know that I'm going to refer to the two exams. What two exams am I speaking of? You have one when you are going through that real estate course. Whether you are going through the 60-hour course for you to start off and get your salesperson's license, or you already have a real estate license, now you are upgrading to get your broker license. So you'll go through the course as well. And then there's going to be an exam for you to complete that particular course. So that is one exam we're going to talk about. The other exam that we're going to talk about is the one that once you pass it, now you are able to get the license either at the starting point as a salesperson, or you're going to start your own brokerage and become a broker, or upgrade to become an associate broker. For simplicity today, I'm going to be talking on the salesperson side. So let's start with the first exam you're going to encounter, which is to finalize the course. What is Brenda talking about here? You're currently going through the 60-hour course, or you're going to be signing up. Whether you have an instructor or not, there's going to be, once again, a final exam. So the two come together. Completion of the 60 hours and then the final exam. Some schools are going to give you a midterm, kind of midpoint of the course, just to check in and see what you need to do different. Sometimes that do contribute to your final grade. Sometimes it's just a wake-up call, my dear, for you to see what you need to do differently. This final exam, how many times can you take it? This will depend on the school. Some schools, my dear, they're only going to give you one time for you to try it. And if it doesn't work out, you will have to take the course again. Majority of the schools are going to give you either 2 tries or 3 tries. So when you're signing up, just check and see how many times can you go through that final exam. Let's stick with the average 2 tries. What does that mean? You are presented with the final exam. Some schools are going to separate the content, preparing you for the state exam, which will have 2 parts on the exam: content on Maryland real estate law, and then content on the national part of the exam. Some schools, it's going to be blended together. So when you're studying, you will know that up front in terms of how the final exam is going to be offered. So here you are, you've taken it one time, it didn't work out. I know you will stress about it, but just sign up as soon as you can to take it for you to complete this particular course. I will echo it again. You might have completed your 60 hours, but if you don't pass the final exam, you will need to sign up for the course again. I know it's painful, but I'm just letting you know up front. Let's go the route of you are taking the course self-paced. So self-paced means what? You're logging in at 2 a.m. in the morning. You're logging into the program, you're going through the content, and you sign out at 4 a.m. Tomorrow, you'll log in at 6 a.m. and log out at 12 p.m., whatever. You set your schedule. This is where, when you get to the final exam, how is that accomplished? Someone needs to see you taking that final exam. So either you will pay and it will be proctored virtually. What does that mean? You will install a program on your computer. You will have a camera. Somebody will be watching you as you are taking the exam. Some schools, for the person who's again taking it self-paced, self-study, are going to send you to a library and somebody's going to monitor you while you're taking that final exam. Or the third option that I've seen, you will go to that school and take the final exam. So that is a person who's taking it self-paced. The person who's taken it with an instructor, that's easy. You will know which day that is that you're going to be taking your final exam. Usually it's the last day of when you are finishing the course. Sometimes your schedule doesn't allow you for you to be available on that day. Talk to the instructor in the school to make sure that is scheduled, because once again, and I'm going to keep echoing it, the two come together. Finishing the 60 hours and completing the final exam. Then what? You've now passed the final exam. You've now completed the 60 hours. I'm sure there's extra documents that was requested from you. You've completed all that. The school is going to let the PSI testing facility know that you're now ready to take the state exam. So the school is the one that's going to let them know. Usually that process doesn't take too long. Long is relative. I want to say 2 to 3 days, about a week. If it has been 2 weeks and you have not received an email from PSI, then you need to contact your school. Once the school uploads the information to PSI, you get an email that then allows you to go to their website, PSI Exams, for you to register, pick the day that you are going to take the exam. Hi, Larry. I know it's frustrating. Yes, you need to pass the national portion. We are here to help you with the videos that we have on our channel. We also do offer tutor sessions. Definitely connect with us and we shall continue that conversation. I'll be putting the contact information later. Thanks for being here. Where were we? We were discussing the part of you've completed the 60 hours, and just like Larry, he's completed the 60 hours. He has also completed the final exam. The school lets PSI know that you're now ready to take the state exam. You get an email from them. So within 1 or 2 weeks, be on the lookout for in your email, like the junk folder or the spam folder, you'll get an email from them. If not, connect with the school. You will then go to PSI, register, and decide when you are ready to take the exam. Trust me, you're ready to at least go in and get an idea as to what the exam offers. Some of you are going to say, "Whew, I need a break. I need to go ahead and study after 2 weeks." You know how life goes. 2 weeks becomes 1 month, then becomes 6 months. And before you know it, you are within your 1 year expiration. What is this 1 year expiration Brenda is speaking about? When you complete the course, let's say you complete the course today, November the 25th. You have 1 year to go and take the PSI state exam and pass both parts of the exam, Maryland law and the national content. 1 year. How much does it cost for you to go take that exam? It is $44. How many times can you go? As many times as your budget allows. If you're going to go in there and you pass after try number 4, then you spend $44 times 4 to take that particular exam. If it takes you 10 times, 20 times, they don't have a limit. The limit is 1 year from the time you completed the course. So this time when we're talking about the PSI exam, so now we're talking about the PSI exam. We've talked about the one for your course. Thank you, Larry. Okay, we'll be in touch after Thanksgiving. Thank you for being here. Enjoy your holiday. Brenda now is talking about the PSI exam. And again, the PSI exam is offered in 6 locations in Maryland. Could you take it outside of Maryland? Sure. You can go as far as California. So what does that mean? If, let's say, for example, using Larry is traveling out of our state, he's going to visit family in California and he decides he wants to do it the day after Thanksgiving, sure, he can take it in California. So you don't have to be in Maryland to take the exam as long as you have access to a PSI testing facility. I would recommend a couple of strategies is go to different locations because you'll get a different vibe. And vibe here is either the ambience of the location or the check-in process. Sometimes the check-in process throws people off. You have every opportunity to try different locations. Let's go deeper into this PSI real estate exam. Remember where we are is I've already completed the 60 hours. I have already finalized with the final exam. I have received that email from PSI. I have registered. And you can register, pay them the $44, and then come back and decide which day you're going to take the exam. So that's possible. Let's assume you're going to be taking this particular exam on December the 16th. What can you expect? When you walk in, the check-in process is that they will be asking for 2 forms of identification. Both of them needs to have your name and one needs to be from the government. So this could be your driver's license or your state ID. A second one could be a debit card or insurance card that has your name. Avoid walking in with any sort of drinks because they might say no. Or if they say no and you need to have a health break, the time allocated for you to take your exam does not stop. You will get 2 hours to complete this particular PSI exam. It's broken down into 90 minutes on the national content and then 30 minutes on the Maryland content. Whichever one you start with first. If it's Maryland, you get 30 minutes. After 30 minutes, it switches over to the next part, national, and you get 90 minutes, and vice versa. So if you have to step away because of a health break, that time still is, the clock is still ticking. When it comes to you finishing early, that's fine. When you are done, you are going to be presented with your results. Usually, if you've passed, it tells you right there on the computer screen. If that didn't happen, yes, you will be upset. You will walk out or disappointed. Maybe that's a better word. You will walk out and they will either give you a printout of your results showing you where you need to focus on, or you will also get it via email. So one or both is going to happen, but at least you'll have an idea as to what you need to focus on. That exam, it's broken down into two parts. The national content, which has 11 topics. Top 3 are contracts, agency, and practice of real estate. And so, guess what? We have videos that review these 3 topics and what to expect. Definitely check out our channel on that. On the Maryland side, you will get 6 topics, and the top the top topic under those 6 topics are business conduct, supervision, and brokerage relationship. This part probably makes sense to those of you who've already gone through the course and maybe have gone through taking the exam. On the Maryland side, I will let you know that we do have a lot of resource on the Maryland side. We're one of the few with Maryland content on YouTube. Check out the videos there. We also have practice questions that you're able to check out available on our website, and an ebook on Maryland content as well, which is trainingwithbrenda.com. As we wind down to finish, what are my 3 things that I would share to anyone who's looking to prepare to pass this particular exam? They're going to sound basic, but when you try it, trust me, it works. 1, you might not pay attention to when you take the exam, but you need to. Take it when you are at your best. Your best is different for everyone. For me, it's in the morning. And so what that means is before I go take the exam, I'm not trying to study things the last minute. No, your mind or brain is as clear as it can. This is not one of those exams that some of us do where we schedule in the evening after a long day of work or activities, and then you want to go take the exam. No, this is an exam where you're applying the content, which goes to number 2. If you don't pass, go back. Yes, you will be disappointed. Yes, you will be upset. And you might want to give up and say, forget it. How is it? I have this many degrees. I am knowledgeable of real estate. How is it I did not pass? Yeah, the exam is analytical, where you are applying information. And sometimes, my dear, maybe you're too smart for this exam. You're thinking too deep. And this exam just requires you to keep it at surface level. So when you do not pass, which some of us are going to experience that, I know you're going in saying you want to pass it at the first try. Everyone does. And when it happens, take a breather, schedule to take that exam before you go to bed that day. Just schedule and pick a random date for you to go back and take it again. Truly, nobody knows or cares other than you in terms of how many times you went there to take the exam. I'll give you an example. Your doctor, you love your doctor. Yes, you did research, or maybe you were referred to that doctor. You don't know what position your doctor fell when they were taking the exam, or how many times they took the exam, whether they were at the top of their class or not. That's still your doctor. Do you care? Not really, because what? This person is helping you determine whatever symptoms you have and taking care of it. So nobody really cares truly other than you. So get over it, I know, with love, and go back again to take the exam. The last one, which ties to point number 1, is study to apply the content, not to memorize. Their definitions, yes. Most of the questions are not going to ask you to define a certain term. Instead, you're going to be what? Applying it. So study to apply the content. If you need to study and try, explain it to someone else how you think this particular definition should be applied, try that. The last one, math or real estate calculations. Some of us are hearing that word and you just feel a certain way, or your body reacts a certain way. Skip it. Again, you can pass by not passing the the math part of the exam. So if math is not your friend, this is not the time to make friends with realistic calculations. Skip it, put it all the way at the end, focus on the other topics. We are done on the exam part. To continue this particular conversation, check out our website, trainingwithbrenda.com. We do offer tutor sessions as well. Our calendar has some spots open in the month of December. If you're watching this any other time, just go to that website, click on services, and you will see the schedule